Hello again, okay, here in this video. You know, for years now, the homeless people, that's right, the homeless people, have been ridiculed and cut down and knocked down and pushed out of society. Nobody wants to acknowledge them. That's right. Or I'll call them losers, don't we? That's right. And then I told you about the job market when I was reading the reports, and you all called me nuts and crazy, and the job market actually happened, what I said, what I was seeing in the reports that I was reading. And what I was watching going on in society, when it all came to be truth, jobs started going out the door and tent cities popped up. We know about this already, okay? And of course, now the people called me nuts, didn't have no more to say. Maybe they despised me, maybe they're mad at me. I don't give a shit, whichever it is. But you know, what people don't stop to think about is this. Now there's two types of homeless people, okay? Well, there could be three types. We'll say three types, okay? Yeah, there'd be three. Let's go with three types. Okay, the first type would be the person who just is fucking lazy, don't want to work, would rather mooch, who becomes homeless because of laziness. Now, this person here, I don't feel sorry for at all. Okay, I have no respect for him, okay? When your ass is too lazy to get off your ass to do something to take care of yourself, then you deserve to be your ass, okay? Then we have the other type of homeless person. This is the person that came back from the war. That's right, here in the United States. That's right. Didn't have nowhere to go. His wife left him when he was over there fighting because she couldn't handle being alone in the war. She needed some dick in her hole. She hooked up with somebody else. He's on the street. He's got nowhere to go. Now, okay, I have respect for this guy because this guy didn't ask to be where he's at. He didn't ask to be homeless. Nobody wants to be homeless, okay? Then we have the other type of homeless, and this is the type that's popping up all over the United States now, and that's the people who, their job, they got laid off, or the company closed, or, you know, we've seen it. How many people we got unemployed? That's right. And they didn't own a place, and they were renting the whole time, and, well, they couldn't pay the rent no more. Their unemployment run out. Yeah, that's right. The unemployment barely kept them in their place. They were already flat broke because their unemployment wasn't designed to keep them alive. Because they didn't have a high income to begin with. They were just average workers, okay? So now their unemployment runs out and they still can't pay. Now they can't pay their rent, period. And they wind up on the street. Now, this is the person I really feel sorry for because what most of you people never stop to think about one iota is in the job market. When you're looking for a job nowadays, it's all going online, ain't it? Got to have access to the internet. Got to blah, blah, blah to job search, don't you? Because companies are slowly moving everything over to online. And that's no lie, okay? So how's this homeless person going to actually access the internet to look for a job? Okay, so now he goes out there to do it the old-fashioned way. But even for all the places that he can walk through the door and fill out an application, and places to put ads in the newspaper, we have so many people trying for the job, that even the person that's well off and not falling on their face like this man has, still may not even be able to get the job themselves because we have that much competition now for every job that's open because we have so many people unemployed from the outsourcing of our jobs, okay? So now this person can't get a job and he's on the street. Now here's the other scenario on the street, okay? You ain't got an address. You ain't got a phone number. You ain't got a home. How's anybody going to call you to get a hold of you for an interview to give you a job to begin with? That's right. But then we don't care, right? Isn't that how we work? Okay, I've watched society turn around, and I watched the guy that was feeding the homeless person when number 25 hit up in Orlando. They busted him. Busted him for feeding the homeless people because he wasn't allowed to feed the homeless people. I watched St. Petersburg, Florida Police Department kick the homeless out of a fucking neighborhood, tell them they can't be here. Then we watched them kick them off a vacant lot. Vacant land had been empty for a long time that they set tents up on. But we watched them not allow the homeless to take the tents, and they cut their tents up. So see, this is how we want to treat one another, and this is what our law enforcement's been taught, is to be terrorists, is to terrorize the homeless, okay? So I want to know how you people are feeling as you've been a worker your whole life and you've never been homeless. You've never been lazy. And suddenly your job went out the door and you couldn't replace it in time. And you found yourself on the street. And now everybody's looking at you and ridiculing you, but at one time you were ridiculing them for being homeless, wasn't you? The only type of homeless people I don't have respect for are the homeless people that are homeless because of their laziness. Or because they want to be an alcoholic and they would rather drink all day than to work. That stands in front of a convenience store begging money to buy their next beer. I have no respect for these people. These people are just plain ass lazy, and they're allowing the alcohol to rule their life, so they're doing it to themselves. But for the majority of the homeless people we have in today's society, they're homeless because they didn't ask to be homeless, okay? And once a person falls far enough to land homeless, sometimes they can be trapped there for years and years because they can't get a job. And it don't matter if they look as hard as the rest of you people do, because they don't have a phone number and they don't have an address. And because they don't have a phone number and an address, nobody calls them back for an interview. Never stop to think about that, did we? Anyhow, I appreciate the report you're about to watch, because this needs to happen. People need to start recognizing the homeless, because the homeless is going to be you one day. Because your government's getting set to make millions and more people homeless. And they're doing a really good job. They've managed to make, 2-3 million people in the United States homeless already. And they're not through yet. It's only just begun. They haven't crashed a dollar yet, they're going to. But yeah, I know you're going to say that's a conspiracy theory, okay? But anyhow, you can say that all you want. And when they crash a dollar and you're crying and whining, I'm going to look at you and say it's a conspiracy theory. Quit whining, okay? That's exactly what I want to tell you. With a smile on my face. But watch this. I applaud these people. This happened up in Colorado. I applaud them for doing what they're doing here. Because the homeless need to be recognized as human beings like everybody else, and the stereotyping and the labeling of another human being needs to stop. It needs to completely stop. The stereotyping and labeling of other human beings needs to be brought to a dead stop. Nobody's above nobody. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the President of the United States. I don't care if you're the fucking Pope. I don't care if you're the Queen. I don't care who you are. You bleeding shit just like anybody else. You're a human being just like anybody else. And if I had my way, I'd be abolishing governments completely, because we don't need governments. The only thing governments have ever done for the people is lead them into war, enslave them, and kill them. All you got to do is follow history, and you'll see this is the only thing governments have ever done to their own people. And that's what we have going on once again, because those people are too stupid to realize that we're all human beings. And no human being has the right to be over another human being. No human being has the right to dictate and run another human being's life. And people got your fucking selves so busy shaking your nose in somebody else's ass. And you wonder why it keeps happening again. Well, it's going to happen again. History sure is. But I respect the homeless people that I've told you about. And for all the people that didn't ask to be homeless, I really feel for you. And for the millions more that are about to become homeless, that didn't think they would ever be homeless, well, it's because you turned your back to what we've been telling you. So you're going to be deserving to be there, because your people chose to turn your backs. You chose to let your leaders outsource your jobs. You chose to put these people and allow these people to lead you. You let them outsource your jobs. You let these people do whatever they damn well want, even when they break the law. You do nothing about it. You all say you can't do anything about it because you don't want to do anything about it, because you're all fucking scared and pissing yourselves. And if you don't get your balls and your clits and grow them back and become adults and stand up for yourselves and stand together as one and stop looking at somebody's skin color and stop the division, if you can't do this, then you deserve what you got. That's the only thing I can say to you. But I respect this report. Watch this news report. I'm happy to see something like this happen, because it needs to happen more often. Till the next video, you have a good one.
One night a year, the names of people who have recently died while homeless are read in a somber ceremony in downtown Denver. This year, there were 140 names on the list: men, women, and young children. They are more than just names, although they are among those forgotten in our community. 9 News anchor Bazi Kanani takes a look at tonight's memorial and the person behind one of those names, a man by the name of Joe Pelham.
Tom Moffitt.
Christopher Sherwood.
People who are often overlooked in life and forgotten soon after.
Kim Schrock.
Here, their names are spoken a memorial service for those who died this year while homeless.
Ralph Open North.
Randall Loeb is here in honor of his friend.
Joe Pelham. We will remember.
He keeps a picture of Joe Pelham on his mantle.
He had many ways of being that were independent. Many homeless people do.
Joe was also known as a fun and caring person, despite his struggles, and that's what Randall wants people to know about Joe and others like him.
One thing we would love to see is that people regard the citizens who are vulnerable as members of their community.
Randall knows firsthand the importance of community support.
I'm bipolar. I was almost dead, having committed suicide and being in a coma.
He survived, and a church gave him a job.
So I was able to rebuild and regain my composure to get back into the middle of the work of making it possible for us to have hope.
We rise! We rise!
Now, as he speaks for those who are still homeless, he asks us to consider one question.
When we stand on the corner and we see others who are stumbling and falling, what is our responsibility?
In Denver, Fozzie Kanani, 9 News. This was the 25th year for the annual Homeless Persons Memorial Vigil. Organizers hope to bring attention to the need for better medical and mental health care for the homeless.